On salary day, wealthy people don't feel excited, they feel responsible because to them, money is not an emotion, it is a mission. And while most people rush to celebrate, scroll through shopping apps, plan dinners, upgrades, and instant gratification, wealthy minded people slow down, take a breath, and ask one powerful, almost uncomfortable question: where should this money go to work? They understand something most people never pause to think about. That salary is not a reward meant to be consumed the moment it arrives, but a tool meant to be deployed with intention, strategy, and discipline. For them, salary day is not about how much they earned, it's about how wisely they will allocate it. Before spending a single rupee or dollar, they already have a plan, a structure, and clear priorities. They decide how much will be invested to grow, how much will be saved to create security, and how much will be protected against risks, emergencies, and uncertainty. Only after these decisions are locked in does spending even enter the conversation. This mindset shift changes everything. Where others see money as permission to relax, wealthy people see it as responsibility knocking at the door. They know that every unit of currency carries potential energy. It can either disappear in consumption or multiply through smart decisions. They don't hate enjoyment, they just delay it. Pleasure comes later, priority comes first. This is why wealthy people often look calm on salary day, not thrilled or impulsive, because excitement clouds judgment, and judgment is the most valuable asset they have. They understand that habits built on payday shape the trajectory of an entire life. Spend first, save later leads to stress, debt, and dependency. Allocate first, enjoy later leads to freedom, control, and peace of mind. They also recognize that money left without direction will find the easiest exit, not the smartest opportunity. So they give it direction before it gets a chance to escape. They treat their income like a team of workers and assign every rupee a job, some to build assets, some to protect the future, some to cover responsibilities, and only a small, controlled portion to enjoyment. This approach removes guilt from spending because spending is earned after responsibility is fulfilled. It also removes anxiety because the future is already being taken care of in the present. Wealthy people don't rely on motivation or mood on salary day, they rely on systems. Automated investments decided percentages, clear financial rules. These systems protect them from their own impulses. They know that emotions are expensive and discipline is profitable. Over time, this behavior compounds quietly. Month after month, while others wonder where their money went, wealthy people can clearly see where their money is going and, more importantly, what it is becoming. Their salary doesn't just pay bills, it builds options. It buys time, reduces stress, and creates leverage. This is why they are less impressed by a big paycheck and more interested in what that paycheck can produce over years, not days. They understand that wealth is not created by how much you earn, but by how you think on the day you get paid. Anyone can feel rich for a night, only if you choose to build richness for a lifetime. Salary day, for wealthy people, is not a finish line, it's a starting point, a moment of decision where discipline quietly defeats impulse, where long-term vision overpowers short-term pleasure, and where responsibility, not excitement, becomes the true sign of financial intelligence. Wealthy thinkers treat salary day like a business meeting, not a festival, because they understand that money decisions made in emotion rarely lead to power, freedom, or growth, so they deliberately separate feelings from financial choices and refuse to let excitement, pressure, or social comparison dictate their actions. Instead of waking up on payday asking, "What do I want to buy?" they pause and ask a far more strategic question: "What will increase my value or income?" This single shift in thinking changes everything because it forces money to serve a purpose beyond momentary pleasure. While most people see salary as an endpoint, a reward for surviving another month, wealthy, minded individuals see it as raw material, something unfinished that must be shaped into assets, skills, and systems. They invest in books that sharpen their thinking, courses that expand their skill set, tools that improve efficiency, and assets that continue to produce value long after the excitement of spending fades. To them, a book that changes their mindset is worth more than an expensive dinner, and a skill that increases earning power is more valuable than a luxury item that only impresses strangers. They are not against enjoyment or comfort, but they are allergic to waste, especially waste disguised as treating yourself. They know that status purchases feel good briefly, but they quietly steal future options by locking money into things that do not grow, produce, or protect. Wealthy thinkers also understand the brutal truth about short-term happiness. It fades quickly, often leaving behind regret, clutter, or debt. Long-term financial control, on the other hand, compounds silently, building confidence, stability, and freedom over time. This is why they prioritize systems over impulses. They build automated investments, structured savings, and repeatable decision-making rules so that every salary day follows a calm, predictable process. Emotions are removed not because they are weak, but because they are expensive. Logic, planning, and consistency take their place. Over months and years, this approach creates a powerful gap between those who earn money and those who build wealth. Two people can earn the same salary, yet live completely different financial realities simply because one celebrates payday and the other plans it. Wealthy thinkers treat money like an employee, assigning it roles and expecting results. Some of it must grow, some must protect, some must maintain life, and only a controlled portion is allowed to entertain. This clarity eliminates financial stress because uncertainty is replaced with intention. They know exactly where their money is going and why. There is no mystery, no panic at month end, no surprise when expenses appear. Their calm comes from preparation. They also recognize that every payday is a vote for the future they want. Spend mindlessly, and you vote for dependency. Invest deliberately, and you vote for independence. Buy things to look successful, and you remain trapped in appearances. Build skills, assets, and systems, and success eventually becomes visible without effort. This is why wealthy thinkers are often unimpressed by flashy purchases. They know how often those purchases are funded by insecurity rather than strength. Real confidence comes from control, not consumption. Salary day in their world is not loud or dramatic. It is quiet, focused, and strategic. It is the moment where they reinforce habits that will pay them back for decades. They understand that wealth is not built through big wins or lucky breaks, but through boring, repeated, intelligent decisions made when no one is watching. By treating salary day like a business meeting, they transform income into leverage, discipline into freedom, and patience into power, proving that the difference between staying stuck and moving ahead is not how much you earn, but how you think when the money hits your account. Another key difference between wealthy people and the majority is their mindset of planning for the future before indulging in the present, because they understand that time and compounding are the most powerful forces in building financial freedom, and delaying gratification is not a sacrifice but a strategy. On salary day, they pay their future selves first, treating every paycheck as a resource to secure and grow rather than a ticket to immediate pleasure. This means that investments are prioritized: stocks, bonds, real estate, retirement accounts, or any income-generating asset that will work silently in the background to multiply wealth over time. Emergency funds are funded without hesitation because they know that security is not optional. It is the foundation upon which all freedom rests. They also consider other streams of passive income, locking money into opportunities that produce more money so that their future selves are supported even when their present selves are not actively working. Whatever remains after these critical allocations is used for living expenses, daily needs, and discretionary spending, not the other way around, which is the trap most people fall into when they pay themselves last or not at all. This simple yet disciplined habit might appear minor in a single month, but when repeated consistently, it becomes a silent engine of freedom, gradually building a life where financial worries are minimized and choices expand. While others anxiously watch their accounts dwindle after each payday, wondering where their money disappeared, wealthy, minded individuals already know where every rupee, dollar, or unit of currency went and what purpose it serves. They do not rely on luck, windfalls, or hope. They rely on systems, planning, and foresight. Their money is never idle. It is assigned a role before any pleasure or consumption is considered. This approach also changes their relationship with money emotionally. It transforms salary from something that excites, tempts, or stresses them into something that empowers, protects, and grows them. They are calm on payday not because they earn more than others, but because they have control over what happens next. Each decision, made with intention, compounds over time, creating leverage that allows them to take risks, seize opportunities, and live with greater autonomy. They understand that wealth is rarely a matter of sudden fortune. It is almost always the result of repeated, intelligent, and disciplined actions taken over months, years, or decades. By paying their future selves first, they break the cycle of living paycheck to paycheck, consumption-driven habits, and reactive financial behavior. Instead, they live proactively, making choices today that protect tomorrow. This habit also fosters patience, a rare but powerful trait because it requires valuing long-term security over short-term gratification. Wealthy people know that real freedom is not measured by the items you can buy immediately, but by the options and resilience you create for yourself over time. Each investment, emergency fund contribution, or purchase of an asset is a vote cast for independence, opportunity, and peace of mind. The more consistently they follow this principle, the less they worry, the more they plan, and the stronger their financial position becomes, often silently, invisibly, and almost effortlessly to outsiders. This is why wealth appears so effortless to those who observe it from the outside. They see the results, not the disciplined habits, foresight, and delayed gratification that made them possible. By prioritizing the future over the present, by paying themselves first, wealthy individuals ensure that their money serves them rather than enslaves them, creating a life where financial stress is minimized, opportunities are maximized, and freedom is no longer a dream but a tangible, lived reality month after month, year after year. Finally, wealthy people approach salary day with a perspective that is fundamentally different from most. They see it not as a finish line to celebrate or a reward to consume, but as a checkpoint to assess, reflect, and plan, understanding that real financial growth is measured in progress, not instant gratification. On this day, they take time to review their financial performance, tracking what worked, what didn't, and where mistakes may have occurred in the past month, because they know that awareness and reflection are the starting points for improvement, and ignoring patterns or errors only guarantees repetition of the same struggles. Instead of feeling frustration or resentment when income is lower than desired, they respond with calculated action. They consider it a signal to upgrade their skills, enhance their knowledge, or find additional income streams. knowing that increasing earning capacity is far more powerful than complaining about circumstances. Every paycheck becomes a feedback loop, a source of data, an opportunity to refine strategies, and a tool to adjust financial systems for better results. They ask themselves critical questions such as whether their investments are performing, whether their spending aligns with priorities, whether they are saving enough for emergencies, and whether they are allocating enough toward long term wealth building goals, because salary day is not merely about receiving money, it is about assessing whether money is fulfilling its purpose and whether they are becoming the person capable of achieving true financial independence. Unlike those who view paydays as justification for indulgence, wealthy individuals see it as an opportunity to tighten control, optimize performance, and reinforce discipline, treating each decision as an investment in their future self. They understand that financial independence is not a one-time event, but a journey built through repeated, intelligent choices, and salary day is the monthly checkpoint where they measure distance traveled and chart the path ahead. They do not chase instant satisfaction or temporary pleasures because they know those provide fleeting happiness and long term stagnation, but instead they focus on leverage, growth, and resilience, asking themselves how each rupee or dollar can bring them closer to freedom, security, and options in life. By doing this, they cultivate a mindset of ownership, accountability, and proactivity, qualities that compound silently over time and separate them from the majority who drift aimlessly, spending impulsively and hoping for luck. Even when their current salary is not high, they refuse to feel trapped, frustrated, or defeated. Instead, they recognize the opportunity in the gap, the potential to upgrade skills, enhance value, diversify income, and expand resources, transforming a modest paycheck into a stepping stone rather than a limitation. Salary day becomes less about consumption and more about strategy. It is the moment when they pause to measure where they are in relation to their financial goals, identify gaps, correct missteps, and adjust plans to ensure that the next month builds on the progress of the last. They are constantly asking themselves how to make each dollar work harder, how to convert income into assets, how to protect resources, and how to create leverage that grows exponentially over time. This approach fosters patience, resilience, and long-term thinking because they are always focused on the bigger picture rather than temporary wins, and they understand that independence is not achieved overnight, but through consistent, deliberate actions repeated month after month. By viewing salary day as a checkpoint, they remove the emotion and impulsivity that trap so many people in cycles of stress and short-term thinking, replacing it with calm evaluation, disciplined planning, and purposeful action. For wealthy individuals, each paycheck is a measure of their commitment, a reflection of their habits, and a reminder that progress is cumulative. It is not the size of the salary that matters most, but the decisions made with it. Ultimately, salary day is not about spending more or indulging. It is about moving one step closer to independence, incrementally building freedom, security, and options that will pay dividends long after the immediate moment has passed. Ensuring that every month becomes a building block for a life defined not by consumption, but by control, growth, and the power to choose.